have your first child, right? Now, you're starting to have to think about finances and money. What were you doing around that time? Were you working? Were you full time? Were you in your entrepreneurship role at that point? Like, where were you at that
I
point?
was actually full time. I was at the point, well, prior to that, before I had my kid, I would probably be doing maybe 60 to 80 hours a week. When I started having him, I'm
Mm,
like, hold up, just staying late at night at work is not gonna do. I need to back off some. But yeah, I was at a full time job. I have been at a full time job. The place where I'm at right now, um, come September, which I won't be there in September because May the 6th is my last day there. But come September, it'll be 13 years. So I was,
wow.
full ahead. Again, it was just me and my husband. So, I just came home with him, not to kids. So that's when I started thinking like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be doing this in the long run. At least I'm not going to be spending that much time because now I have kids. I don't want to miss basketball, softball, baseball. I don't
Mm,
want to miss t-ball. I don't want to miss none of that stuff. So I need to start figuring something out, or just gradually actually scheduling my time better.
So it really was the time element for you that was the most important thing because you were working so much and you realized like, hey, I'm not going to be able to be there, you know, so much for my kid. Is that one thing that I guess, is that one of the biggest, I guess, benefits that you would say or that you see on being able to be self-employed and in the entrepreneur world? Is that kind of,
Time, yes, yes. Spending time with loved ones, period, because you never know. You might be here today, you might
mm,
be gone tomorrow. So time is definitely one. The job that I have now is in college, so I'm a retail director. So I kind of like oversee all the little convenience stores and fast food places on campus.
mm,
But during the summer, it's like a little laid back. We have like summer camp and whatnot. And I do get Christmas and Thanksgiving off. So it was a big deal jumping from, because I used to be in the restaurant. I used to be at
okay.
the casino. So it was a big jump from being a casino, it's open, 300, every time, every day, nonstop. Then coming to a college where you actually have breaks, almost like a teacher.
Hmm.
But then, of course, I wanted more because sometimes I wanted to go home, which is Atlanta. ATL is my home. And
Right.
to either stay for events, or I didn't want to turn around and come back. And then my kids, their cousins there, so they want to, stay a little longer and whatnot. But yes, um, time is a big part of what
Mm.
I'm stepping out of faith. Yes,
Wow. Yeah. And like you say, right, it's important. We don't know when we're going to be gone. We don't know when those loved ones are going to be gone. And so it's really important for us to actually, have more quality time with them as well. So that makes a lot of sense. That's really, really important. I think that's sometimes a lot of things that we don't think about. Even as entrepreneurs, we don't think about it, right? Even in that same base, I guess, how do you manage, right? Because now, as you're saying, right, you're actually about to make that transition to where you're going to be completely full time with what you're doing, with your entrepreneurship business, but and leaving, what you've been doing corporately. How do you find yourself being able to manage to be able to also have time to grow your business, to still function properly at work, but also still be able to have great quality family time as well?
exactly. And that again, that is one big reason that I am, leaving, stepping out of it, because at this point, when I first started Neil's Cupcakes, I didn't think about a future. I thought about little side gigs, some extra money. I love baking, so it was not like
Right.
a job for me. So I love doing it. I could do this anytime. I started off saying that I was just going to do cupcakes, and I do everything. I do cakes, brownies, cookies,
Mhm.
everything, candy apples you can imagine. And that was not one, when I started in 2018, that was not one idea that I was thinking like, I'm gonna do this full time. No, it was.
Mhm.
It was always something extra,
Mm.
like extra hustle. But then, when the pandemic came, or right before the pandemic came, I was like, I might do this now. I might actually do this for a living. Like, why not? Why spend all that time at a corporation when you can be doing it for yourself? Like, how many times are you going to make somebody else rich? That was my question. Like, how many times are you going to make this person rich or make this company rich? And you only get 3% back, or you only get such and such back. I mean, you're never worth what you are giving them. That makes sense. A price would never be able to. I would never be able to come up on a price for what I gave them. Like, they would never be able to pay me back for everything that I gave them. So why don't I do all that and focus on my business, where I know that I can, receive what I need to receive.
That's powerful. I think that something we had briefly discussed before when we was talking too as well, the fact that, a lot of times if a company is paying you a certain amount, right, whether that's 50,000 or whether that's 75 or 125, whatever the number is, you got to think about how much are you then making them, how much you then attributing to their company, their bottom line. Because that number has to be larger than what they're paying you. It has to be substantially larger than what they're paying you in reality, right? And so if you're thinking that, you have a skill, you have a trade, you have something that you can do, right? Why can't you then take that and cut out the middleman and then actually then replenish all that money that you're making for them and now sweep a lot of that into your own pocket? And that's, I think, what you're really talking about and what you're, saying to us today,
Exactly. And, again, when the pandemic hit, you realize what is important. What is important to you? Is family important to you, or is job important to you? If anything happens to you, what? They're gonna turn around and replace you. I mean, that's nothing. You're something to your boss, but your boss's boss, they don't know you. They don't know your family. They don't know you have kids. And they don't really care, So at that point, I was like, I talked to my husband, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm definitely going to leave. He's like, you sure? I said, yeah, I'm going to leave. I said, okay. And then we didn't say nothing else about it. And then this year came, August. I said, I'm going to put in my notice. I'm putting a whole couple months notice. He said, you really going to do this? I'm like, yeah. So I'm wait for me. No, I'm not waiting for you. Not waiting for you. So, I'm walking out on faith. That's all I can say.
Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9:00. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio-only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.